So I kind of did a thing where I accidentally made most of my YouTube videos about cartoons, which indicates that I am a mentally stunted man-child. But you know what? Hey, I'll give the people what they want. People like it when I talk about cartoons, and I'm too lazy to make like full video reviews of specific cartoons. So I thought, hey, why don't I just put a bunch of cartoons in random.org, put like 50 of them in a list, hit random, see what 10 come up first, put them in an alphabetical list, and just briefly go over them. So, you know what? Let's make this a series. Each video, 10 random cartoons. Hey, you know what? I'm really bad at continuing video series like America Says No. I just lost the willpower to do that. But here, I could just fucking talk about 10 cartoons in a quick, quick, easy fucking manner. Yeah. So you know what? Let's do this. All right. The first show we have on the list is Bailey's Comet, a 70s cartoon kind of like wacky races, except they're all on like a roller derby team. Um, I watched just a little bit of this on YouTube. Most of the episodes I think are missing. So Lost Media, you got Bailey's Comments. Bailey's Comments, go fucking find it. The show is interesting because the animators hated working on this. The show almost bankrupted the animation company of Die Patty Verlang Enterprises, um, because like in Wacky Races, like all the characters they're in like cars. In this show, there was like 15 different roller derby teams, and you have to animate them like moving their legs and shit. You can't just have them driving in the car, you know. So Hanna-Barbera, they knew what the fuck they were doing, not this animation company. Uh, Bailey's Comet, if you want to know what type of show this is, the main characters, their names are Candy, the blonde girl. Wheelie is what the mechanic is called, and the fat fuck in the show. I apologize. I don't mean to be vulgar, but they call the chubby kid on the show Pudge. These motherfucking cigar smoking animators, they drew a fat kid and they said, let's just call him fucking Pudge. It's like, goddamn, like that's fucking rude. Frank Welker voiced Pudge. Pudge, Pudge. They called the fat kid on that show Pudge. So there's like different like roller derby teams on this show. You got the Texas Black Hats, the Jekyll Hydes, the Rambling Rivets, the Duster Busters. Like these are some dope ass like names you would hear on the Warriors. I think the Jekyll Hydes is a fucking dope ass name. Anyway, bring back Bailey's Comments. Make Pudge the main star of the show. You know, just give Pudge a spinoff. Pudge goes hard in the paint. Pudge is a baller. Frank Welker still alive, still kicking it. Bring back Pudge. Oh my God! It's Frank Welker, voice of Pudge from Bailey's Comments. You know, honestly, next Comic Con, go to Frank Welker. He's probably sick of all the questions about Fred. Be like, hey, remember Pudge from Bailey's Comments? You know, he'd probably get a kick out of that. All right, next up is Cross Ange, which I haven't really seen in a few years, but I remember liking this one a lot in high school, and I kind of glanced over some of the plots on Wikipedia to kind of re-jot my memory, and it all came to me. This is kind of the same cloth as Code Geass. The character models don't look the same as Code Geass, but the kind of like young person in a mech with major stakes. It kind of has like the same just type of feel as Code Geass. And I remember really liking the show. there were a few things I didn't really vibe with. I think the fan service was a bit too much, and I get it. I'm not anti fan service. I'm not a fucking prude. Like, I get it. Like, Ange being stripped of her clothes kind of symbolizes how she lost everything. I get it. It's an anime. You got to have a bath scene. You got to have a beach episode scene with bikinis. I get like, these cartoons were kind of made for like, high school and college aged people, and they're horny. They want to have fan service. I get it. I'm not being anti fan service here. I get there's a point to it. I get there's humor and story elements for it, but the fucking costumes, the what they wear on their mech to fight the dragons is so goddamn ridiculous. It's so goddamn stupid. They're basically like almost naked. They're basically in bikinis, and it's like look, I get the fan service. I get you got to have it, but it's like what the fuck is this? It's like the writers and creators of the show, they're like saying, "Hey, you horny little fucking coomer. Yeah, I bet you fucking like this." They're basically naked fighting these dragons, and it's like there's a difference between fan service and just being fucking like this is perverse. I'm like, settle the fuck down. I'm like, Ange, put some fucking pants on. Jesus Christ. Um, Other than that, the show itself, like, it's good. It really captures your attention, as a great score. The voice acting for the English dub is great. It's just a very entertaining show. All the characters have unique personalities. I will say the first half of the show, I think I like a little bit more than the second half because I don't know, like having Ange fight discrimination from the world, from the kind of society that threw her out. I feel like that had higher stakes. I think they should have dragged that on a little longer. Um, Instead of having, them fight the creator in the second half of the show, I felt, that's just my opinion, but it's still a good show. I probably should give it a rewatch. But yeah, even as a high schooler watching it, I was like, put some fucking clothes on when you're fucking fighting these guys. Like, it's like, come on. Come on. Even as a horny ass high schooler, I felt that way. The next show that ended up here is Daria. And Daria, it's a good show. It's a fine show. Has a good art style. You know, I could watch it. It's a watchable show. But is it a goat show? No. And it's not a goat show because it does feels very kind of bare bones in a sense where it's like so much media has kind of came out after Daria that's kind of done it better, maybe even a bit more subversive, maybe just with more elements that you kind of watch Daria and it's like it feels very cut and dry with the kind of high school stereotypes that feels so basic now. Like you have like the jock, the cheerleader, it just feels kind of like it feels kind of like, yeah, this is like a boomer trying to like explain like high school dynamics. But the voice acting is really good, and Daria's family is very entertaining, especially the parents. The fashion club is funny. Like the show is too funny to really dismiss it. I just think, yeah, I would not consider this to be a goat show. It's good, but it's not like great. At some point, it's like, Daria, can you like stop being a bitch? Like, like settle down, okay? Like sports, like when Daria disses sports, it's like, sports take a lot of discipline, Daria. So settle the fuck down, okay? All right, next is Devlin, the fucking Daredevil show from Hanna-Barbera in the 70s. I seen a little bit of this. It's all right. It's okay. It's like vanilla ice cream with sprinkles. It's there. Um, the fucking theme song. So goddamn dope. The fucking synths on that theme song. Holy shit. Fuck, you gotta listen to the fucking synths on that song. Fuck. All right, next is Doug.
Hey, Doug, it's me, Patty Mayonnaise, Doug. Doug, I need you to go to the store and get me some Mountain Dew Code Red, Doug. Doug, I got a cheeseburger stuck in my hair, Doug. Doug, I need some scratch tickets, Doug. Doug, I need my cigarettes, Doug. Doug, it's me, Patty Mayonnaise. Remember me, Doug? I fucking chain smoked the fucking 1,000 cigarettes, Doug. I'm on probation, Doug. Don't tell them what I did to that bitch at the fucking Walker, Doug.
That's all I have to say about Doug. I just really like doing the Patty Mayonnaise voice. Next is O'Grady, which was a cartoon produced by the N, which was kind of like Nickelodeon's teen channel. It was like Teen Nick before Teen Nick. This cartoon's great. Um, kind of the same cloth as home movies. It's by the same animation studio, so it's very dialogue centric over animation centric. Uh, it's really funny. I really like this. It's nice to see a cartoon that's like that could be funny without being vulgar, which is weird coming from me because I love vulgar humor. I fucking defend Brickleberry all day, every day. But it's just nice to kinda just watch a show like this that's, like it's not like a kid show, but it doesn't, like, drop the F-bomb, like, every 5 seconds, like, just a nice, funny show. Um, the guy, John H. Benjamin, he voices a character on this. He's a main character, and it's like, "Hey, Mr. Benjamin, uh, feel free to, talk about O'Grady, just once be like, "Oh, hey, I was on O'Grady." It's like, "Look, I get it. You're the Bob's Burger guy now. You're the Archer guy. Yeah, that's respectable. But, come on, give O'Grady some love. Just, like you have some leeway. Give me like an O'Grady Christmas special. Would it be profitable? Probably not, because barely anyone remembers O'Grady. But do it for me. Just for me. O'Grady season 3. Fuck it, If Clone High could come back, why can't O'Grady? O'Grady. Next up is Oblongs, and speaking of a celebrity who's kind of big now, not talking about something he did a long time ago. Will Ferrell, Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Semi Pro, Step Brothers. Will Ferrell. You know, you would think like Will, Will baby, sweetheart, America's sweetheart, Will Ferrell. Why don't you ever talk about the Oblongs? It's like that was a great fucking show, Will. Why I'm not saying you have to like advocate or push a season 2. It's probably too late for that, but it's like, Oblongs, 13 episodes, solid comedic episodes. Really could have been like The Simpsons of the 2000s if people just had a little more faith. Because, I like Simpsons in the 2000s, but it's like they got a little too big. They were very, hey, how many celebrities can we bring here? Well, the Oblongs was, I felt like that was kind of like the good kind of like counter to like Bush's America. That was just like the show was so unsubtle of how much like rich people shat on like poor people. Like it it felt kind of needed, like there was an episode where all the rich people hogged like all the clean water. And like that's relevant because like look at the fucking Flint, Michigan scandal, like this show I felt like it should have lasted much longer. And Will Ferrell, you could have just been like, hey, I was on the Oblongs. Remember the Oblongs? Like just give a little more love to the Oblongs, Will Ferrell. Um no, the show is hilarious. The show is great. I like it more than Clone High. I like it more than Mission Hill, which, both of them are great shows, but I really felt like this was the one that should have lasted 10 years. Some of the gross out humor is a little much, especially with that fat girl, Helga on the show. You know, just a little much. I probably would have toned that down for season two, but I just love how cruel this show is. Just how morbid and dark this show was. And, the creator of the show, he wrote kind of like books, kind of like these dark fucking like picture books that were kind of like parodies of children's books. And then the writers of the show kind of turned this more into like a sitcom, like with the family as the main cast, which I kind of agree with. I think that was the right move for you know, a series. But just fuck. I'm like, why couldn't this have 10 seasons? Fuck. Next up is Life and Times of Tim and its spiritual successor, 10-year-old Tom. I'm very disappointed in all of you for not watching 10-year-old Tom on HBO Max. Uh, that show should have been bigger. I can't believe HBO canceled it after 2 seasons, 'cause that show was hilarious, just like Life and Times of Tim. And it's kind of like the same cloth as O'Grady, where you don't watch it for the animation. The animation has like a stylistic suck vibe to it. It's just very good improv. You could tell all the voice actors are in the same room. Show's just hilarious. And it has like a very both of the shows have a very like depressing vibe to it because there's no background music. It's like very room ambience noise in the background. There's like this very vague, rainy vibe to it, especially Life and Times of Tim as it takes place in like very depressing New York, and it's just hilarious because these shows they're not upbeat, they're not whimsical, they're just flat out depressing with the most depressing voice acting, but it somehow still is hilarious. I love these shows, and I'm fucking mad at all of you for not watching these shows. So yeah, like I want there to be another show like this. Fuck. The next show is Sports Billy, and I'm just gonna say the plot of this, because this was kind of like a popular European character, decades ago. They made a cartoon of him in the 80s, and the plot is basically this: an alien who resembles a boy goes to Earth to teach the values of good sportsmanship. What a fucking loser. Okay, and the last cartoon is the Vitello Shin-chan dub. And this dub is hilarious. You can find tons of it on YouTube. It's the English Shin-chan dub that's not the Funimation dub, which I also love. But this was a dub recorded in the early 2000s. Only Fox Kids in UK released it, which is ironic because it was recorded in California. You got some like Greg Griffith is in this dub. The lady who voices Dexter's mom in Dexter's Laboratory plays Shin-chan's mom in this. Um, this is just it's really funny and wholesome in a way. It doesn't have that cynic edge like the Funimation dub has. It's not edgy like it, but this is still just really fun either way. A lot of some of this dub is lost media. So lost media people, find me the fucking Vitolas Chan dub. Just do it. Like, it's like who cares about lost fucking Barney clips or fucking Teletubby shit. Like find me the Vitello Shin-chan dub, all of it. Because most of it's found, but not all of it. So if you could find it for me, that'd be like very cool. Anyway, let me know if you guys want to see me talk about more fucking cartoons like the man child I am. Have a good day. Later.